A very good evening to you all and welcome to News Tonight this Tuesday, the 14th day of June 2022. First though, let's have a look at our top stories. Stories tonight. Finance Minister Matiaka Saija presents 4.813 trillion 2022-2023 national budget. President Museveni says Karamoja mutating crime involves a network of criminals. Minister of Education and Sports reactivates COVID-19 task forces in schools. And in sports, 5 Uganda Swimming Federation athletes flagged off. Hello there and welcome once again. We're coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Kiijanangoma. Now, Finance Minister Matiaka Saija has presented a 4.183 trillion fiscal year 2022-2023 national budget. Government expects to generate 30.8 trillion shillings locally, of which 23.75 trillion is expected from tax collections. Agro-industrialization will be one of the key priorities in the next financial year in the new budget allocation, if anything is to go by. The sector has been allocated 1.4 trillion Ugandan shillings to improve the country's quest for value addition on agricultural produce. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni acknowledged economic progress made over the years, as we hear in this report.
Access and entry are key aspects for creating wealth and jobs. Next financial year, the following interventions will be prioritized: expanding storage and processing capacity for agricultural commodities within the 18 zones of this country. 2, enhancing the use of warehouse receipt system to improve commodity storage, reduce post-harvest losses, improve value chain management, and increase income to farmers. 3, providing funds for private sector investment in key commodity agro-processing value chains through soft and patient debt from UDB and equity from UDC. 4, strengthening of standards for quality assurance to improve access to markets. 5, establishing a system for issuance and management of internationally recognized product barcodes, branding, packaging, and labeling of Uganda's products for visibility. 6, enhancing implementation of the export development strategy, including carrying out negotiations for access and entry to regional and international markets. 7, establishing fully serviced industrial parks. 8, promoting investment in strategic industries such as manufacture of pharmaceuticals, industrial sugar, starch, herbal extracts, and cotton-based medical sundries. Flights to London and China. Madam Speaker, I have allocated shillings 4.3 trillion next financial year for the transport infrastructure development and maintenance. Power infrastructure, Madam Speaker. National electricity access today stands at 57% shamefully, of which 19% is on the main national grid and 38% is off-grid, including solar power. Uganda's total electricity generation capacity has increased from 1,269 megawatts in financial year 2019-20 to 1,347 megawatts in financial year 21-22 on account of the completion of 42 megawatt actual one, the 21 megawatt.
But of course, even when we have our own petroleum, the price, we cannot undersell our petroleum. It will have to be at par with the world price minus transport. So yes, it somehow deals with it, but not entirely. With fuel, we may have to. I think the real answer to expensive petroleum is rail transport. If we repair our railway to Pakwach, like the minister is saying, and we transport many of the things on the railway, then the demand for fuel, for petrol will go down, and diesel, at least for cargo. And later on with Kasese, that is the real answer to the problem of high petroleum prices. So I congratulate the minister, but I'm glad you have not killed me when I have wake. I have boasted a bit about the achievements of the NRM. Okay, Simirana, didn't I tell you? Don't you see how much better off we are? Apoyo Rubanga.
The procession of Parliament shall now take over, and the proceedings of Parliament shall resume shortly, as announced by the Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Now, the 48.1 trillion shillings budget to be implemented from the 1st of July 2022 is seen as a pro-recovery budget by analysts, but an appeal is made for effective implementation for it to live to its expectations. According to Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group, the fiscal year 2022-2023 is pro-people since it has not introduced new taxes but emphasizes broadening the tax base.
Analysts have praised the budget for the financial year 2022-2023 for being recovery-oriented.
I think for new taxes, the first thing is that we really engage the government on taxes. One, they have not brought new taxes. Two, they have not increased the taxes. The only thing they have done is to streamline administration. Those who have not been paying are supposed now to pay. If you have been having beverages really, for the last 5 years, you have not been in taxation bracket. It's high time that you're in tax bracket because now you have set up your system properly, you are making profits, so it's high time you also contribute to national development.
According to Julius Mukunda, the Executive Director, Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group, the 48.1 trillion shillings national budget can boost recovery from the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Look, especially in this financial year budget, one of our key elements was that we need to spend more money on social sector. And for the first time, we are seeing that human capital development is taking the first priority on the national budget. That is 28%, which is very good. Secondly, is that we want the budget to be pro-poor. And for the first time, we are seeing government spending close to 1 trillion Ugandan shillings on the parish development model. For the first time, an ordinary person is sharing directly from the national cake. Not indirectly in the security, no, directly that there is 100 million Ugandan shillings that is going to be removed from the national budget and it goes directly to the parish for the parish to be able to spend it in the way they want.
The national budget has put more emphasis on agro-industrialization and uplifting household incomes with an objective of fostering equitable growth and development.
The budget for the next financial year presents a set of strategic choices and the government's commitment to stimulate economic recovery, enhance productivity and competitiveness of enterprises, and most importantly, wealth creation and jobs for the ordinary Ugandans.
This 39% of the homes whom want to, under parish model, to say, please join the money economy and produce for the stomach and for the pocket. But the other danger can be lack of rain or unreliable rain. So that's why in our budgeting, there is now something about irrigation. But in the future budgets, I would like us to do more for the irrigation.
As per the key priorities, education was allocated 4.14 trillion shillings, peace and security 3.9 trillion shillings, health 3.7 trillion, agro-industrialization 1.4 trillion, agriculture 1.14 trillion shillings, and the parish development model 1 trillion and 59 billion shillings.
And lastly, how will you call the budget for the year 2022-2023? Because sometimes you can call it a poor man's budget, you can call it a revival budget, or whatever. So basically, how will you term this one?
For me, this budget really is a recovery budget. To support businesses to recover, individuals to recover, to be able to provide, to ensure that there is enough credit in the system, so that at least we have an opportunity to sustain the economy, increase the production, sell, make profits.
The Finance Minister, Matia Kasaija, committed to limiting borrowing and supplementary budgets, enhance human capital development, limit corruption, and foster knowledge transfer in order to accelerate social and economic development. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Now to matters pertaining to security, and we move to Karamoja sub-region, where President Yoweri Museveni says the mutating crime, which has now turned commercial and involves an intricate network of criminals in Karamoja sub-region, is fueled by illegal gangs and must be stopped. He says there is lack of orientation in many elements of the population of Karamoja, who up to now have not appreciated the need for peace and prosperity. He said whereas over 40,000 guns have been recovered through both peaceful and forceful means, many Karimojong have continued to illegally own guns and have become a security threat. Mr. Museveni vowed to end commercial cattle rustling and asked leaders in Karamoja to help change the attitude of their people through preaching prosperity. The president noted that through an intelligence-led operation now rolled out by the forces in all the 9 districts of Karamoja and targeting 5 groups, including criminals with guns, those with bows and arrows, those with sticks to drive the cows, the collaborators who are in different districts but connected and linking up with the rustlers and any other suspected connected to the raids, they will not leave any stone unturned. The UPDF 3rd Division Commander, Brigadier General Joseph Balikudembe, said since the launch of Usalama Kwa Wote operation in Karamoja and neighboring districts, a total of 106 guns and 82 rounds of ammunition has been recovered. In addition, several suspects have been arraigned before court, while others are pending to appear before the court-martial.
Break-ins and ambushes along the roads. And was characterized by relative peace. 2018, we recovered 56 guns. Every district chaired by RDCs and members of...
Really appreciate, and this is what we needed as a region. Someone who sleeps over the problems of Karamoja, someone who thinks about a child who is crying, sleeping with anger, and a mother who cannot afford to get whatever it takes to move the household. Again, Your Excellency, we want to thank you because you've just asked a question, how does a community get to prosperity? It is the same question we've been asking ourselves, that even with the opportunities through a number of programs, like now in Yoga, the region is receiving 9.01 billion. Now, mindset change will take us long, Your Excellency. But the leadership of Karamoja have been advocating for compulsory, forceful education. And this will be the solution, Your Excellency, and not the mindset change. All these issues of the challenges of mindset change are affected by cultural values and beliefs. But education is the key to transforming these people.
There are other victims of this disarmament, the one we are going to discuss. There are people who have been targeted by these thugs. The village operatives, the intelligence operatives. How do we protect them? And this is going on, they are eliminating them. There are also leaders, Your Excellency, leaders especially LC3s, are being left in the middle, even these members of parliament.
Now, Ministry of Education and Sports is activating COVID-19 task forces in schools and remains learning institutions to observe all guidelines for preventing the spread of COVID-19. State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Moriku Kaduchu, reaffirms that there is no COVID-19 outbreak in schools, despite flu and cough that have not been proved to result from COVID-19. Take a watch.
Infections of COVID-19 pandemic are starting to rise in the country after almost 6 months of full reopening of the economy from a 2-year lockdown. Schools were also reopened after Ministry of Education and Sports issued guidelines needed to protect learners from catching the virus. Now, when Ministry of Health announced that infection of COVID-19 in the country had gone down, the public seem to have ignored standard operating procedures to reduce the spread of COVID-19.
People were relaxed because when the cases of COVID went down, schools relaxed. And that's why we want to wake them up from sleep. Still coming, infection rate is rising slowly. We do not want to see COVID outbreak in schools. We are activating the task force for timely reporting for appropriate management of cases in case of an outbreak.
Other measures are still being followed in school, like hand-washing facilities are still existent and wearing of face masks. The challenge is keeping social distance.
To reinforce the SOPs. We know children have been keeping social distancing. It is very difficult in schools to keep social distancing. But the beauty is that they are again very active people. Every time running activities. So the hand-washing facilities are all over. Infection prevention and control methods have been put in place. What is has been difficult to control is congregating, avoiding the congregation. Children are getting crowded. That is something that we need to emphasize and to avoid overcrowding.
Ministry of Health is now investigating the flu and cough in schools to ascertain if they are as a result of influenza or COVID-19.
Reporting, there are cases of flu and cough that has gone into some schools. The Ministry of Health, the beauty is that quickly they are investigating. It may be influenza, it may be COVID, but for now, there is no any COVID outbreak in any of our learning institutions.
I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisia in Kampala.
Meanwhile, State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, has appealed to teachers planning an industrial action to call it off and come for dialogue. She said dialogue will remedy their grievances on salary enhancement. Dr. Kaduchu was representing Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Katam Seveni, at 50 years anniversary of National Curriculum Development Center.
Minister of Education and Sports and Education Fraternity, I now take this singular opportunity to launch the logo of NCDC that is celebrating 50 years of curriculum development, quality curriculum for national transformation.
The Ministry of Education and Sports says it has not received an official communication from the teachers as regard to this industrial action, adding that the ministry is ready for dialogue on teachers' grievances on salary enhancement. The State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, further explains that COVID-19 hit hard the education sector, so getting back to such setbacks is really uncalled for now as the ministry together with NCDC are now implementing a new curriculum.
They perceived it in a different angle because the enhancement is for all the teaching profession. But we are starting with the scientists. Then after this coming financial year, we move to the artists. We're not going to leave any teacher behind. Our goal is to enhance all the teachers' salary. But the resource envelope cannot adequately enable us to roll it to every teacher. That's why we are moving in a phased step manner.
National Curriculum Development Center Director Dr. Baguma Grace says there are no need to paralyze the education sector for issues that can be solved through dialogue.
There can be better methods of understanding each other and sorting their grievances other than saying that all the teachers have striked, no, the children. The country cannot be paralyzed because of that. I know that they will reach an agreement and they will understand each other and they will go back to class.
Baguma also explains that teachers' industrial action affects their work.
We are still having bumps. It is bumpy because some of the people have not yet gotten acclimatized, some of the teachers, with the expectations of the new curriculum, especially the methodologies and how to assess the children. They want to still dictate notes, to still teach them. But the children have come out and they are enjoying. I was talking to one child in Arua last week and the boy was saying, we do our own notes, the teachers don't give us notes, and he was saying it with pride and with happiness. So it is coming out, but we don't expect it to be 100% as of now.
National Curriculum Development Center was started in 1973 by UNESCO to enable majority African countries that were emerging from colonial rule to plan for their own education systems. Arad Peter Akungizibwe compiled this report for UBC News.
To the courts of law now, where High Court Criminal Division has set the 5th of July 2022 to hear City Lawyer Male Mabirizi's bail application as he awaits Court of Appeal to hear his appeal. He filed challenging Judge Musa Sekana's decision sentencing him to 18 months in prison. Judge Musa Sekana sentenced Hassan Male Mabirizi to 18 months after finding him guilty of charges of insulting judicial officials. Meanwhile, the same court has indicated the 23rd of June 2022 to deliver its ruling in the matter where Mabirizi wants prison authorities avail him with his computer and internet to enable him follow up on his cases in court. Although Mabirizi at first filed the application before Magistrate Sanura Nambozo, the application was dismissed due to lack of jurisdiction by this court to compel prison authorities to address Mabirizi's concern. Prosecution in this matter is represented by Timothy Emerit.
Today in history.
On 14th June 1999, police in Ibanda, Mbarara district, arrested a man suspected to be connected to assailants who shot dead 3 university students. Edgar Tumwine was arrested and handed over to the police by the group of Makerere students over allegations of killing 3 Makerere students. He was found with Tumwine's room number in Nkrumah Hall and that of a girl known as Winnie from Mary Stewart Hall, as well as a list of about 50 university students and their room numbers.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello, this is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Congratulations, congratulations. Oh, one good day.
Good day? But I haven't entered any competition.
Oh, Dechi, since you use your phone every day, we have randomly selected you as one of our loyal customers, and you have won a brand new pickup.
Hey, so how do I get this pickup?
The pickup is in Namave. All we have to do is quickly bring it to you. You know, we are delivering many of them. So, just send us 100k for fuel via mobile money and we'll bring it to you.
But Chief, I'm in no hurry to receive it. Namambe is just here. Keep it at your warehouse, give me directions and I will get time to pick it up.
Vow nawe. If you don't have money, just say.
Tonfera, never send money to strangers. Winners of competitions are contacted through official channels and are never asked to pay for anything. Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tonfera, refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda and NPSP Association.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Oil and Gas Moment, brought to you by Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey. Uganda's oil and gas resources are located within pristine environments. The oil and gas activities are benchmarked on Uganda's updated environment legislation and on the international best practice standards in order to continuously ensure coexistence between the oil activities and Uganda's rich biodiversity. This is being achieved using improved technology to reduce environmental footprint, mapping of sensitive ecological features for avoidance, improving standards of waste management and development and implementation of tools for environment management. These include the Albertine Graben Environment Monitoring Plan, Strategic Environmental Assessment, various environmental sensitivity atlases, and the National Oil Spill Contingency Plan, among others. For more information, visit www.pau.go.ug. Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say for register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Uganda Revenue Authority and partners invite you to the Post-Budget Breakfast Conference to take place on 20th June 2022 at Hotel Africana, Kampala from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We shall thereafter hold other regional engagements on 28th June 2022 in Mbarara, Fort Portal, Gulu, Arua and Tororo. This year's theme, full monetization of Uganda's economy through commercial agriculture, industrialization, market access and digital transformation.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV, and a warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Now, moving on, M23 Movement rebels have allowed Congolese refugees camping at Bunagana Town Council to cross back to Rutsuru and pick basic materials. Addressing the media at the Congolese side of Bunagana, Major Willie Ngoma, M23 rebels spokesperson, says the refugees were allowed to cross to pick their property because even rebels recognize that they belong to DR Congo nationality.
Since Monday morning, M23 rebels have taken over Bunagana border
and other neighboring areas of Chanzu, Runyoni, Bugusa, Mikeno, Karisindi, and Visoke in Rushuru Territory, North Kivu Province, after 174 government security forces, that include 137 armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo soldiers, and 37 police officers were defeated on front line and fled to Uganda. Yesterday evening, some refugees attempted to cross back but were denied access by the rebels who are physically manning the border. M23 rebel spokesperson Major Willy Ngoma says M23 fighters deserve peace and security.
Tunakataa hiyo, tunapenda wakongomani yote waishi mzuri. Kongo yote tuishi mzuri sana, tupendane, tufanye development ya country yetu. Sababu country yetu the people biko nateseka doki sana, njaa, hakuna barabara, hakuna shule, hakuna nini, watu wanateseka sana. Sasa tunapenda maneno itembee vizuri.
Ngoma says M23 was provoked by shelling of their buses by FADC and other military collaborators.
Kama napiga sisi, ndio sisi tunasema tunakuya kubafuata hapa, tunashika hiyo mugini. Lakini haiko lengo yetu, lakini juu ya security yetu tunashika Bunagana.
Ngoma is requesting for peace talks by the Congolese government, as well as fulfillment of their demands in accordance to Nairobi Agreement of 2013.
Government ya Congo ya hizi ikibazo watu neza kiani. Tufite agreement watu na FRDC, watu na government ya Congo. Waraifite, waraizi neza, waraizi. Bagomba kuishira mubikorwa. That's venkesa.
By press time, no gun sound was being heard and rebels were still manning the border, even when refugees are still in Uganda.
It's coming to 34 minutes after the hour of 8 in the studios of UBC TV. We'll take yet another short break and return with business.
Have waka, you passed the ice through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo. Jambola be waka, look at you waka, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo.
Show them waka with MTN Momo Nyabo. Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices. The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Even with my grandson, a doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day he began to work day and night. He wouldn't quit, even when people said no. He wouldn't stop fighting. He knew something had to change, and his vision was bigger than anyone could imagine. He made it possible to receive quality medical services anywhere in Uganda by simply using a phone.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you or call or SMS 162. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Fun is our flavor. When we're together, the vibe is pretty alright. Our taste is pretty awesome. We are Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment. Enjoy Mirinda Fruity, Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that short break. Let's have a look now at what's happening in the world of business. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, the German government and the private sector have launched the first electric mobility corridor border transport system. The launch is part of the renewable energy technology efforts to conserve the environment. Under the new arrangement, solar battery charging stations for electric Zembo borders have been installed at an interval of 30 kilometers apart along Kampala-Masaka Road at Mpigi, Buama, Lukaya and Masaka City.
With unpredictable world fuel prices, a new environmentally friendly electronic mobility border system for Kampala-Masaka Highway has been launched in PG Town Council. 4 solar-powered electronic mobility Zembo border charging stations have been installed 30 kilometers apart in Buama, Lukaya and Masaka City. The project, which started in 2020, is a joint renewable energy partnership between the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development and Germany government and the private sector.
Battery out. Okay, you disconnect here. Okay. And put in the new battery, and this one goes for charging.
The GIZ Uganda Country Director James Macbeth said that the project will reduce use of fossil fuels.
I'm so happy to the Ministry of Energy, the Ugandan government, and our partners, you, that we can be part of it.
Masaka RCC Ronald Katende and counterpart on PGRDC, Sempala Chigozi, welcome the new project.
And I want to commend the government of Germany, UK, and especially the government of Uganda for creating an environment that is friendly to all people to invest in Uganda.
I think it should spread over the whole Uganda simply because it is cheap.
The Assistant Commissioner in charge of Energy, Efficiency and Conservation, Engineer David Limumaso, pledged his ministry's support to the program.
We have made our commitment to transform the energy supply to the transport sector.
The director Zembo Borders, Titus Chimbowa, said that they are looking forward to the 1,000 electronic-powered borders by the end of this year from the present 200.
At least 1,000 bikes on the road by the end of this year. And we're excited for the prospect of that.
For a charge, a border cyclist has to pay 4,000 per 75 kilometers compared to the ever-escalating unpredictable high cost of fuels.
Sports news now, and let's begin with swimming, where State Minister for Sports Hamson Obua has flagged off 5 Uganda Swimming Federation athletes that take part in the 19th FINA World Swimming Championships in Budapest, Hungary. John Van Sentamu gives us more.
5 Ugandan swimmers have been flagged off to Hungary by State Minister for Sports Hamson Obua, where the FINA World Swimming Championships start on Saturday.
The World Championship of Swimming is an equivalent of the World Cup. So that is the highest level of swimming. We would want to appeal to you to go and compete, lift your country's flag higher and higher, but also use the same opportunity as you are training for purposes of one of the most prestigious games in the world, where swimming is represented, where you have already qualified. That is the forthcoming 2022 Commonwealth Games.
The swimmers include Kirabo Namote, Bitendo Mukalas and Avis Meya, who take part in swimming in the pool and are under the tutorship of Muzafari Muwanguzi.
First of all, I'd like to acknowledge that these swimmers we are going with are the best in the country. They're very experienced and very talented athletes, and I wouldn't assume nothing less than the best performance ever in Ghana swimming.
The team is complete by Adnan Kabuye and Karima Katemba that will contest the 5 kilometers open water.
It's something I've never done before, but then I'm also there to make good times and have fun also.
With the Commonwealth Games in the UK coming soon, this championship comes in time for 3 of Uganda's UK-bound swimmers, Kirabo, Meya and Mukalazi.
So we're very expectant that they will do their very best. The FINA World Championships are at the highest level for swimming in the world. After that, it is either the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games. So this is also not a simple stage, but as you're aware, Uganda has been progressing in quality, and we're also very happy that very soon we should be able to qualify an A-time or B-time athlete that can then later automatically qualify for these high-end competitions.
Uganda will at these games come up against some of the best, including Americans and South Africans. John Barnes, Central, reporting.
Cricket news now, and Uganda Cricket Association has unveiled a new jersey for Uganda men's national cricket team, Cricket Cranes, ahead of the International Council Cricket World Cup Challenge League B tournament. The challenge, that is set to kick off on the 17th of this month, will see Uganda fight to maintain its spot at the top of the table.
As the Cricket Cranes head to the International Cricket Council Cricket Challenge League B tournament, Uganda Cricket Association with their partners Plascon have unveiled a new jersey for the tournament. The new kit in the national colors has come in 2 sets for the home and away matches.
As Plascon, we committed ourselves to provide a kit worth 240 million shillings. Part of that is cash, and part of that is in terms of jerseys and the marketing and the support and the development of the sport beyond just playing on the field.
We know we are going to achieve much more. You have already been very notable achievers. Even the senior team continues to stand out, because I'm sure we are #1 now in the East African region in the rankings. So it is without doubt that this effort must be supported.
Uganda will compete in the 6-nation tournaments against Kenya, Italy, Bermuda, Jersey and Hong Kong.
We believe we've prepared well. It's not just been a 2 months preparation thing. We've prepared for 1.5 years just for this tournament. So we're good to go, and we're excited to go out there and express ourselves.
The tournament is a pathway to the 2023 ICC Cricket World Cup. Uganda will need to perform well and stay at the helm of the table for qualification.
For us right now, the most important day is obviously Friday, and making sure that we do what we do in terms of our processes. I think we've got a special group of players here. Last year, they won 11 T20 internationals in a row, and the 12th one, they missed out by 1 run to come back and win 5 in a row. So they know how to win, and they're an exciting and talented group of players and will represent the country well, and I'm super proud of them.
With their model and jersey already here, Uganda Cricket Association says all is set for the tournament that kicks off this Friday as Uganda takes on Jersey at the Lugogo Cricket Oval. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
And all the best to the cranes, the cricket cranes in that endeavour. And that brings us to the end of this bulletin. But before we leave you, let's have a quick reminder of our top stories. Finance Minister Matia Kasaija presents 4.813 trillion 2022-2023 national budget. President Museveni says Karamoja mutating crime involves a network of criminals. Minister of Education and Sports reactivates COVID-19 task forces in schools. And in sports, 5 Uganda Swimming Federation athletes flagged off. And that's all we had time for in this first edition of News Tonight. Remember, our next bulletin comes your way at 10 p.m. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni, and I am Rukidi Kiijanangoma. We'll see you at 10.
Fellow citizens, thank you for diligently and consistently honoring your tax